If you have a dog, turn your volume up to see what their reaction will be for the following sounds. Or don't, I can't really tell you what to do. If you have a
I don't want no relationship with a broke bitch. Call it what you want to. Whoa, whoa. Shout it what you gon' do. Whoa, whoa. I don't want no relationship with your broke ass.
The mother of a 2-year-old boy vanishes, her phone turned off. Now her loved ones are worried for her safety. This is Frey J. Baker. Her family tells WBTV they last heard from Baker on Thursday after dropping off her child. They say she was with a known man, but never called back.
A frantic search for a missing woman ended in heartbreak on the night of December 6, 2025. Frezia Baker, a 31-year-old mother full of life, was found dead. The news sent shockwaves through her family, friends, and an entire community that had been praying for her safe return. People were left struggling to understand how someone so vibrant, so loving, and so full of promise could be gone so suddenly. But before the flashing lights, before the police tape, and before the devastating confirmation, there was confusion, there was fear, and there was a family slowly realizing that something was terribly wrong. Frezia Baker was known within her family as the caretaker, the one who checked in, showed up, and never left her son without reassurance. At just 31 years old, she balanced motherhood with a busy life, always making sure her little boy felt safe and deeply loved. 2 years after having her son, she decided to start dating again. That decision led her to Lorenza Inman, a 33-year-old felon with a troubling past. In 2019, Inman was convicted of attempted first-degree murder after following a random man to a shopping center, shooting him in the chest, and then firing additional rounds while standing over him. Although he received a minimum 12-year sentence, he served only about 2 years before being released. In October 2025, he pleaded guilty to charges including habitual assault and intimidating a witness, yet was sentenced to just 24 months of supervised probation instead of prison. Shortly after his release, he met Frezia. Their relationship was far from stable. Inman was described as possessive, abusive, and jealous, spending his time drinking, smoking, and engaging in reckless behavior. Few could have imagined that this volatile relationship would soon set off a chain of events that would shock everyone who knew and loved Frezia. On December 4th, Frezia started her day like so many others. She went to a dentist appointment, handling responsibilities and errands like the busy mother she was. Later, she dropped off her 2-year-old son at her grandmother's house, just as she often did. It was part of their routine. Nothing about that day felt unusual or alarming. She was expected back later that evening. Before heading home, Frezia called her brother. She told him she was about an hour away. Her voice sounded normal, calm. There was no panic, no hint that anything was wrong. To him, it sounded like she'd be home soon, back to her son, back to her life, but that never happened. As the evening hours passed, the family began to feel uneasy. Frezia was not the type of mother who disappeared without checking in. She always called to check on her son. She always made sure people knew where she was. She always answered her phone. That night, she didn't. Calls to her phone went straight to voicemail. Text messages went unanswered. As the silence stretched on, worry turned into fear. The kind of fear that sits heavy in your chest and doesn't go away. Loved ones began reaching out to everyone they could think of. Friends, co-workers, acquaintances, anyone who might have seen Frezia or her grayish-blue Honda Accord with South Carolina plates. They were desperate for even the smallest piece of information. Soon, bits of her last movements started to come together. Surveillance video showed Frezia driving her car several times that Thursday. Cameras captured her leaving her home, stopping at a cookout on Sugar Creek Road, and later visiting a gas station and convenience store along LaSalle Street in the Lincoln Heights neighborhood just before 10 p.m. That was the last confirmed sighting of her. After that, nothing. By the next morning, the fear had become overwhelming. Her family contacted police and filed a missing person report as soon as they realized she hadn't come home and hadn't checked on her child. But filing the report didn't bring comfort. It didn't bring answers. It didn't make the waiting any easier. They couldn't just sit back. So they searched. Family members, friends, and neighbors spread out across the city. They checked streets, parking lots, apartment complexes, stores, and gas stations, anywhere her car could have been, anywhere she might have stopped. Flyers were printed and handed out. Social media was flooded with her photo as people begged the public to help bring her home.
I know she's missing because she would not go this long without reaching out to nobody, especially her son. She's a great mother. She loves her son. And to go this long without speaking to her son, her family, or her friends, this is not like her.
Peaches Johnson is devastated knowing her friend, a mom of a 2-year-old boy, is missing. She says in addition to not calling anyone since she was last seen Thursday, Frey J. Baker's lack of social media presence now is not the norm for her either. Family members say she was last seen with a man they describe as an associate.
We don't deserve to lose our friend or can't find our friend. This is very important. So anybody out there watching, anything, any small detail, any car you see, anybody you think that's her, just please reach out to the family, call 911.
Her brother Fred, who didn't want to show his face, says getting the word out is critical. Fred tells me witnesses shared she was seen Thursday night at a cookout on West Sugar Creek Road and a gas station called Quick and Easy near LaSalle Street.
Every morning I wake up, get dressed, take a shower, get dressed, and searching night and day. But we will gonna find her. I'm looking at it as just never give up, because I'm not giving up on my sister, because I know she won't give up on me.
Every hour felt longer than the last. Her loved ones admitted the waiting was unbearable. Trying not to imagine the worst, trying to stay hopeful, trying to believe she would walk through the door or answer her phone at any moment. Sleep was nearly impossible. Every ring of the phone brought both hope and fear. Meanwhile, Frazia's 2-year-old son kept asking for his mother. He didn't understand why she hadn't come back. He didn't know what missing meant. He only knew that the person who loved him most wasn't there, and that broke hearts all over again. For 2 long days, the family searched and prayed. Then, on the afternoon of December 6th, everything changed. Police were called to a church parking lot on Sanders Avenue in West Charlotte. There, behind the church, officers found a car matching the description of the one Frezia had been driving when she disappeared. Inside the vehicle, a body was discovered. Authorities did not immediately confirm the identity. They told the family they needed time to process the scene, time to be certain. But from the moment that car was found, a heavy fear settled over everyone who loved her. Deep down, they already felt the truth closing in. Word spread quickly throughout the community. People gathered online, refreshing their screens, praying for a miracle. Messages poured in, hopeful, heartbroken, and desperate. Many clung to the idea that somehow, against all odds, the person inside the car wouldn't be Frezia. But by that evening, the confirmation came. The body found inside the vehicle was Frezia Baker.
We could see that the license plate on the car was the same as that reportedly on Baker's missing 2004 Honda Accord.
They think they found the location of where she was at.
Baker, the mother of a toddler, was spotted on surveillance video several times last Thursday, driving from her home in this grayish-blue Honda Accord, then reportedly visiting a cookout on Sugar Creek Road, and later this Quick and Easy Food Mart on LaSalle Street just before 10 p.m. Thursday night. Family members told us they expected to see her that night, but haven't heard from her since that day.
But at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that care about her, and we went hard as we can to find her.
The news hit like a wave, wiping away any remaining hope in an instant. A young mother would never return home to her child. A daughter, a sister, and a friend was gone. Charlotte mourned. Neighbors struggled to comprehend how a woman who had simply gone about her day could end up dead behind a church. Questions filled the air, each one heavier than the last. The pain was overwhelming, and looming above it all was one unsettling question. Where was her so-called boyfriend? Why didn't he appear as distraught or concerned as Frezia's friends and family? Why wasn't he coming forward with information to help authorities understand what had happened? Police later classified Frezia's death as a homicide, though few details were initially released. Authorities confirmed only that she was last seen on December 4th at a gas station in the Lincoln Heights area, and that the last person known to be with her was her 38-year-old boyfriend, Lorenzo Inman Jr. Days later, another update arrived, bringing both relief and renewed heartbreak. Police announced an arrest. Investigators identified 38-year-old Lorenzo Inman Jr. as the suspect in Frezia Baker's murder. The announcement ignited intense debate online. Some who knew Lorenzo insisted he was incapable of such violence, while others, Friends of his previous victims said otherwise, confirming he was more than capable of committing such an act. He was arrested in Maxton, North Carolina, more than 100 miles away, and transported back to Mecklenburg County. After being interviewed by detectives, he was charged with murder, assault on a female, and a misdemeanor crime of domestic violence. During questioning, Lorenzo confessed to shooting Frezia in the head during an argument, which was also witnessed by several individuals at the scene. Court records revealed a long history of violent behavior, including prior charges of assault and witness intimidation. Frezia's family was notified of the arrest, a painful but significant step toward justice. Despite being convicted of attempted murder and sentenced to more than a decade in prison, Lorenzo Inman was released after serving only a fraction of that time due to sentencing structures, parole eligibility, and discretionary decisions that prioritize release over public safety. Risk assessments, plea agreements, and supervision policies allowed a violent offender with a documented history of extreme violence to re-enter the community without sufficient safeguards. Equally troubling, warning signs continued after his release: new charges, patterns of abuse, and escalating behavior. Yet accountability remained minimal. Instead of incarceration, he received probation. Instead of intervention, he received freedom. This tragedy was not unforeseeable. It was the result of systemic gaps: leniency toward repeat violent offenders, under-enforcement of probation violations, and a failure to center victim safety in decision-making. When someone shows a clear and repeated capacity for lethal violence, releasing them without strict containment creates the conditions for history to repeat itself. What happened to Frezia was not just the act of one man. It was the consequence of a system that allowed him the opportunity to do it again.
He keep hollering out, "Where's my mommy?" What do you say? There's no words to say.
A harsh and tragic new reality for Frezia Baker's family after she was killed earlier this month.
So I just want the world to know she was a good person, a good mom, a good person, just a good person that met a monster, and she trusted the monster.
Charlotte-Mecklenburg police say Lorenza Inman shot Baker, left her body in a car, and was later arrested nearly 2 hours away in Maxton, North Carolina. Court documents show Inman was previously arrested in 2017 and charged with attempted murder. He was found guilty in 2019 and sentenced to 13 to 17 years in prison. But documents show Inman and his attorneys appealed the decision, arguing an audio interview between the victim of that case and the police taken at the hospital was improperly submitted as evidence. Inman was granted a new trial and in March 2021 pled guilty to a charge of assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill or inflict serious injury. He was given a sentence of 3.5 to 5 years in prison with credit for time served.
That her daughter is gone, and a convicted felony that North Carolina allowed this person to walk the street with that background is unbelievable.
After that, he was charged with probation violations and in October pled guilty to habitual misdemeanor assault and intimidating a witness. A judge suspended his prison sentence pending successful completion of 2 years of supervised probation. Just 2 months later, he's behind bars again on murder charges.
He's a monster. That's what he is, a monster.
Still, many questions remain unanswered. How did Frezia end up behind that church? What happened in her final hours? And why did this happen at all? Authorities have yet to release those details, and the silence has only deepened the grief. Her family and community are left trying to make sense of a tragedy that never should have happened. The loss feels even heavier, knowing Frezia's young son will grow up without her. He will never again feel her arms around him, hear her voice calling his name, or see her smile when he walks into a room. He will know his mother through stories, through photographs, through the memories others will carry for him. Her family continues to hold on to hope, not only for healing, but for justice. They want answers, they want accountability, and they want the truth, so that one day her son will know what happened to his mother and know that she mattered because she did.